We are here today with Luke McGuire. Luke, welcome back to the show. It's been too long.
I know it has been a little minute, hasn't it? It's actually, well, first of all, thank you. And second of all, I was looking the other day and I saw it's been 10 years since we did our first interview for my very first product. I always tell everyone how
I
much
believe it.
I'm so thankful to people like you, the very handful, really, of people that promoted me for every one of my launches and products and things I've ever done in my life. And, I'm so happy to be back again.
It's been a pleasure. Yeah, I've been happy to have you on here. It's always nice having you here. I can't believe it's been 10 years. You're making me feel old.
I
Uh, We're
know, it's
we're
wild.
we're not spring chickens anymore.
Mm-mm,
I'm gonna
no
go ahead
way.
and you've always brought out really high quality software. And one thing that I've always noticed that you've been involved with social media and I think you had like a social media, something like social media mansion was something that you
Hmm.
did a long time ago. You've always been doing all this different social media stuff, and you've been on just the like on the ball when it comes to viral traffic, really being able to drive tons of traffic and in software that normal people can use. Today, we're going to be talking about something that you're coming out with that is going to leverage the power of TikTok. And I'm going to be completely honest with you, that's one of the platforms that I am not very used to. And that always
Hmm.
happens. Like I remember we used to talk about, you had a software which was about Instagram before. And when we
Hmm.
talked about it then, I wasn't an Instagram user, but
Hmm.
I use it now. Like,
Hmm.
and I feel like you are always kind of a little bit ahead of me when it comes to these
Hmm.
things. And you really realize the potential of these pieces of software and social media in order to drive traffic with. So I'm gonna read off the headline for this one and let you bring
Hmm.
us into it. The headline that I've been given says free video showing how this lazy secret plus Talkmate is making me six figures a month and the exact process of how you can do this instantly. So, what is this Talkmate? What's it all about, and why should we be excited?
Yeah, so it's actually really interesting that you were saying that about that Instagram tool that came out, and that was probably 8 years ago now, which is
Wow.
wild. And it was kind of a very similar thing to what's happening now with the TikTok space, and that TikTok is essentially now at the point that Instagram was back then, where,
Mhm.
and this is where I find that this is a little tip for anyone. If you ever are looking at when something's about to really blow up, it's when that I've found anyway that there's about at least 10% of users or above from every generation. So from Gen Z, baby boomers, you've got 10% at least across the entire board, and that's only recently happened with TikTok. So now it's not just a kids
I was gonna say
software
that it's not
anymore.
just the kids anymore on
Yeah,
TikTok. There's everyone on there. It's crazy.
yeah. And it's funny, because we all have the biggest opportunities when these things happen, but we all just seem to not learn. And it's like I remember when I first started my agency, which was called Social Media Mansion, 10, 13 years ago, maybe now. And I'd walk into businesses, tell them they need to be on Facebook, and they'd laugh at me saying Facebook's for kids.
Hmm.
Um, it's just like MySpace. We don't need to be on that. If anyone remembers MySpace,
I do, of
that was a
course.
cool one. Yeah, I love that one. I would have had you as a top friend, Mark, if
Well,
I
thank you. I
had have had
appreciate
you
it.
that then. It's all good. And then the same things, and then same thing happened with Instagram. And it's interesting for me when it gets to this point as well. These platforms know that they need to really look after their audience
Mhm.
and really bring um, people to start using their platform, and they want the most eyeballs on their platform. So they do things with their algorithms to enable to really get people to be doing that. So right now, TikTok is the world's number one most downloaded social media app. It's the fastest growing social network in the entire world. There's over 1 billion users a day on the platform. Um, it is the highest. It's the platform with the highest engagement out of any social media platform, and by a mile. So I think the closest social platform is Instagram. It has 400% less engagement, and then after that, I think it's Facebook, and then Facebook's another 30 or 40 times less than that. So
Okay.
uh, it's got things going for it that these other platforms don't. And the real reason behind that is because unlike every other social media platform, TikTok focuses on showing you content or showing its users content that it feels it wants to see, regardless of if you follow that page or not. So traditionally, social media platforms, you need to
Really
follow
important. That's a
accounts.
really important point that you mentioned there. Go ahead, keep going.
Yeah. So um, in the past, you essentially would have to find accounts, find your friends, go searching manually and hoping that you'd find different pages and that you would be interested in, follow them, and then be at the will of the algorithm of or how much Meta or wants to charge you to boost a post to even be seen by the audience that even follows you, let alone anyone else outside of that. Whereas with TikTok, they they want your content to be seen. They want you to go viral. The average user that has TikTok. The average user spends 1.5 hours a day on TikTok,
That's
uh,
crazy.
and that's an average user. So that's not the high end. It's over double the amount of time than any other social media platform. So uh, anyone that has TikTok, they spend twice as much time on that than any other platform uh, that they also have as well. Um, and because it's getting downloaded more and more every day, it makes sense that you have to be marketing on this platform. And back to that point of when you post content on TikTok, uh, it will go ahead and put that content. So everyone's the same. That's the other beautiful thing. You don't need to be an influencer. You don't need to have great engagement on previous posts. You can go viral from the very, very first post because it looks at all content the same. It will take your content, share it to 2,500 people if you have zero followers whatsoever. And then those 2,500 people that it decides that they think that this is the group that will like it the most, and TikTok decides that based on the actual content being posted, the caption, and any hashtags. And then when it shows it to those people, how they engage with that content will decide if they're going to show it to more people, to a wider audience, and then they'll look again if how those people engage with it. They might share it to a wider audience, or it might just plateau, and that's as far as that piece of content goes. But it does this for free, and so day one, you could do this manually right now. Go on TikTok and post content,
Hmm.
and you're going to get views and engagement. So it's pretty cool.
Which is so much different than something like I do a lot of YouTube, obviously. Some of you
Mm,
might be watching this interview on YouTube right now. And
mm,
the amount of subscribers you have is very much going to affect how many views you get.
mhm,
And it's easier to like some people like going viral on a place like YouTube is much more difficult than going viral on a place like TikTok. I mean,
uh-huh,
you tell me these stories about people going viral here, and I've heard so many like, people that have very few followers. You don't have to have a big
mhm,
following in order to have content that goes viral on there. It's kind of like a a great equalizer, and it really
mhm,
does give like if you have a piece of content that does well, you don't have like you said, you don't have to have a bunch of subscribers. If you have a really good piece of content, you can have a TikTok account with like 2 followers on it, and you put that content out there. If that's a really good piece of content and it's a really like and people are responding to it, it's gonna
mhm,
shoot out there, and you have that at least you have that chance of being able to do that. Now, I know that you have a software that will make
mhm.
this a lot easier for us. If you want
Yeah,
to, if it's easier to explain your software by showing it,
yeah. Let's
I'll
do
let
that.
you do what you want to do here.
Yeah, for sure. So let's jump into that software over here. It's called Talk. Wait, I need to pull it up first and share my screen. Give me one sec. It's called Tokmate, and this was kind of built around a similar concept to that Instagram software that I had called. It was around years ago called Instamate, and that kind of did a similar thing. That was
Mhm.
the first tool to ever let you post and schedule to uh, Instagram from your computer. This here takes it a step further, and it will help us find the most viral content uh, ever posted on TikTok itself already. It'll then I'll just go to the dashboard here. It'll then uh, allow us to analyze the most viral content in any niche. And the beautiful thing about TikTok is the weirder the niche, the better. People are posting on TikTok like insane. And how you were saying about YouTube,
Mhm.
now in America, the average American adult spends more time now watching TikTok than they do YouTube. That's a stat I only read the other week, and that was newly released, which I thought was pretty crazy. So um, this is essentially Tokmate when you come in here. So I'm going to run through this pretty quickly just to show you a basic overview of how this works. There's two different sections here to find content. So this was the print. This was kind of the concept around it. We wanted to be able to create a tool that instead of like it was all well and good that TikTok can really help you go viral, but
Mhm.
the other key part that people hate and have always hated doing is creating content, being able to actually script out content, being able to film it, be on camera, edit it, and then hope for the best that it's what people actually want to see, and then having to do that again and again and again and again and again, and hoping just one of these ways, one of these pieces of content we've created goes viral.
Mhm.
And it made me think because I started seeing, and I've seen this on Instagram as well, which many of you might have seen at different times if you're on Instagram. There's people that there's different pages that have millions of followers, hundreds of thousands to millions of followers that are faceless, niche specific pages. For
Mhm.
example, pages around supercars, motivation pages, funny joke pages, so on and so forth. So it made me think, how could I then create accounts like that really quickly by finding the most viral content that's already gone viral on TikTok? It's proven to have gone viral. One of the cool things about TikTok is you're actually allowed to download, repost, and share content that others have posted to your to your actual account. You can do it directly on the TikTok app itself. You can click Save Video, um, and you can then have it up instantly uploaded onto your account by just doing a normal upload that way. Um,
So you can
and
just take other people's content and reuse it on your own.
Yeah, so in TikTok itself, that the default settings when you're uploading content on
Mhm.
there, you can choose if you want that save video button on there or not. Um, and I'll show you some examples of like how you can do this as well. You know, the one thing they really care about is that you if you're advertising, if you're promoting any sort of product in an actual post, that you do let TikTok know about that. And I'll show you how to do that quickly in a minute. But you can, yeah, essentially, you'll find when you go on TikTok, a lot of the most trending viral content is content that you might have seen on YouTube before. It might have been viral collaborations of multiple videos put together. The whole concept of TikTok is they're wanting the most viral content on their platform to keep users on it the most. And you know, I've done this when I was sick the other week. I ended up realizing how their algorithm is when I first log on. I'm seeing the best content ever of like really engaging 5-part documentaries because they can't upload an entire 30-minute video in one post. And I'm going through trying to find the next Dr. Pimple Popper or the next Discovery Channel thing. And I'm not sure uh, in depth of how like I know I've never seen a movie on there, for example. So it's not like a place where there's just ripped pirated movies and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It must be stuff that has free share or free use on online. But that would be the other problem as well. Trying to figure out how to do this manually would be what content can you share and what content can't you share, because we don't want to get accounts that get strikes or anything like
Sure.
that. So that's where the first section of Talkmate comes up, where there's two key parts. Trending, so we can either find content. So the two types of content that go viral online are trending content. So what's happening right now in the world, right? So here I can look in the last 7 days, today, the last or yesterday, and I can go ahead and see the account. I can segment this by say the most, let's say the most views, and we can see what hashtags have the most views. For those that don't know what a hashtag is, it's essentially just saying this piece of content is related to this category. It's like putting if you've got like a manila folder that you put your files in, it's like writing the name of what is in that or what it's about on top of that. So here for the hurricane, 2.5 billion views
Wow.
here in the last 7 days, which is insane. You can see some other ones. I know Diddy was trending in here for a bit for all of the wrong reasons.
Mhm.
But from here, we can see what's trending, and we can go to 140 pages deep, and then we can go here most views as well. So from here, we can then save, and what I might even do is save some of these hashtags, because this is where your audience is at. So I know that people are going into the hashtag that they're searching for the hashtag, and they're looking at videos under the hashtag hurricane, right? And again, this is where I'd want to find as many that relate to some content that I'm posting. You don't want it to be completely random hashtags to post when you post your own viral content, but you want it to kind of be in the same niche to some extent. Um, the next key thing here is songs. I'll just briefly touch on this. Songs are a massive thing on TikTok. There's actually songs that go viral from TikTok versus being popular in the real world and then go viral on the app. TikTok is what blows up a lot of songs in the first place. There's been artists that have released songs 10 years ago that now some of them have made number one hits. Apparently, I'm not sure who the artists were, but it was some lady I saw
Milli
recently in the
Vanilli's going viral on Blame It on the Rain. I think that's because of that new Menendez
Mm,
show. I don't know if you watched that or not. I think it's maybe
no, I
they had a
haven't.
song on there from Milli Vanilli. I don't even know. Do you even know who Milli Vanilli is?
No.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say it might be an age thing because you're
Mm,
younger than me, but I think it might also be maybe because you're from Australia. And,
yeah, mate, it's probably an Australian thing. It's a pretty far away from a lot of things. And then the final area here is the most trending videos. So this is something that this is the most trending videos in the world right now on top TikTok. So you can look at this. 8th of September, this was posted, and so just over a month ago, 73 million views, 36,000 likes, 220 comments, 6,000 bookmarks, and so on and so forth. But then look at the bottom right one here is the engagement. See, this is where I find things really interesting. You might have a great uh, piece of content that's highly viewed,
Mhm.
but is it engaged with? And what does that then mean? So that's like sometimes you only want people to view. You don't want them to engage. You want them to just jump straight in and buy whatever it is that you are selling or you are offering.
Mhm.
Um, and sometimes you might want engagement if your call to action says to engage with the content. And just as a general tip for anyone doing marketing, when you're doing a social media post in future, just ask a question in some of them, because I cannot tell you how many people uh, don't think of it like this and they lose out on massive amounts of engagement. Ask a question in, I almost do it, I do it in almost every update, because it instantly turns your post from a one way broadcast to a two-way communication. Like, oh, this person's talking to me. And then people start to feel rude if they don't reply. People want to then reply because they're actually being asked something. Your engagement will go up instantly. It's just one quick thing you can do that you'll see like, oh, that's actually quite interesting. So yeah, so this is where you can find the most viral content that's going viral right now. And what we can do, oh, this guy here, he slept in his boat over the hurricane, I think, that came through, and he made it out. I don't know. Look at, and this, here's a Halloween uh, dog. So 67 million views, 21% engagement. So massive engagement here. So what I can do from here is I can either download this piece of content directly to my computer, and then, or I can go ahead and create a post from it right away. Now, now this is where I can go ahead and upload for this example, I want to show you the actual discovery section, which is where
Okay.
I like to find content. So rushing through this pretty fast, we can search for content via keywords,
And so you
via
guys know,
account.
I just want to interrupt you really quick.
Mm,
Luke's going to give kind of a quick demo here in this interview. There will be more content where he's going to be explaining more of it. He's
yeah.
got a whole pre-launch sequence where he's got a bunch of different videos that you can watch. There's a link below
Hmm.
where he's going to be going through different aspects of this separately, and he's going to be doing a pre-launch webinar on Wednesday at 8 a.m. Eastern, where
Hmm.
you guys can sign up for that and just make sure. So we'll remind you guys
Yeah.
again at the end of the call here, but I just want to make sure you guys know. I mean, if you think Luke's having to rush through this a little bit, it is kind of like this is just a preview here today. But if
Mm.
you want more info, just feel free to click that link.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm also giving away $1,000 live on that call.
Oh,
I'm giving
nice.
away some free copies of this as well. And I want you guys to come in with the most random industry or niche possible. And I'll ask you guys that. And the most random or the most entertaining niches that you guys give, that I then pick, I'll be giving away some prize money to the funniest ones of those two, just for being on that training as well. So yeah, that's the other. I'm just going to share with you some basics here, but
Sure.
we're going to really look at this from a more business and a going viral, not just once, but have it be an option for you to go viral as many times as you want through doing this. So again, looking at the discovery, this is where we can find content and create really specific niche accounts that are completely faceless. So we can search directly in our Tokmate app itself. And also you can see up here in the top left-hand corner, we've got this drop-down menu here um, where we can connect multiple accounts here, and then we can select which ones we want. Here, say I typed in something like, I don't know, say I typed in, let's just do marketing since we're on a marketing,
Okay.
we're all marketers, but you can do anything you want. And I've got some other examples up here actually that I can probably show you quickly. Now, this is the beautiful part that I loved about when we were building this, is that for a mobile app, because TikTok is predominantly a mobile app, they
Mhm.
have a really, really good uh, user experience online. So that their actual web app is actually pretty decent as well.
Like
So
on a desktop
on the desktop, or
or
yeah, so on a
laptop.
laptop and a desktop, they have a really great user experience here. And in terms of how they just being able to view content on here is really, really good. So we thought, why not integrate here? And we've gone ahead and created our extension here, which are then literally, instead of searching directly in Tokmate, we can use the TikTok site itself. So this is under marketing. We've got, this is the top um, over here. This is, you can see here, 739,000 views on that piece of content.
Mhm.
1.2 million here, 1.6 million here. But you can see that they're not in order. I don't know what the most viral is. And yeah, 1.6 million views is great. But if there's a piece of content that has 10 million views, that's a piece of content I want to be posting. So um, let me just add up, just for argument's sake and just for this demo's sake. Let's say I wanted to save this piece of content here to be posted later on. I can star it. So this star options allows me to start taking some of the most viral content, and this will bring it back over into Tokmate. I can also hit the download buttons underneath, and it will download this content directly to my computer as well. But from there, you can then have a look at some other niches here. We've got fitness, we've got plumbing, viral content under plumbing. Look, multiple videos with millions of views under plumbing, um, affiliate marketing. Uh, we've got our ASMR here. Look at this. This is an ASMR hashtag, because you can search via hashtags as well. So, say I wanted to, I don't know, what is that? Uh,
ASMR is a
people,
crazy niche. That one where people are like, okay,
oh,
we're gonna be like,
yeah.
I
Like,
should start
I'm
doing
surprised.
ASMR. That'd be kind of freaky.
You should on YouTube. I reckon it would. I reckon it would go crazy. Like you are always a
I'll
very
do
calming person
ASMR
to talk to.
reviews. I'll do an ASMR review
Oh my gosh,
of your
you
product.
should. You should
it
do a whole sales video in it. People would just be like, "Yeah, I just feel
it
great."
would freak everyone out.
Yeah, but I don't know. Sometimes like you just need to
I
shock
do.
the world and to shock the audience. You know, it
I
can
do.
work. Don't knock it till you've tried it. I'd say. Otherwise, I'll give it a go for you. So here I'm going to save some random pieces of content here. But the cool thing with this is is that, see, there's 32 million posts here
Mhm.
under ASMR underneath the hashtag ASMR, which means 32 million times someone's posted a piece of content and in their caption had the hashtag ASMR. So for me to manually go through all of this to try to find the most viral piece of content out of it all would be it wouldn't be possible for a human to do without going absolutely crazy and probably having your computer break before you got halfway through doing it. So back here as well, to the marketing hashtag, what I'm going to do here, I've also got this star option next to the term marketing. So I can hit that too. And what that's going to do is any video that ever gets posted underneath the marketing um, search term here, it's going to pull into Tokmate for me to use and view. And again, you can also view users here, so different marketers that are popping up from the search term marketing on TikTok itself. So he's 489,000 followers here. And you can see he's using a lot of just viral generic marketing content that's been reshared over and over and over again from different pages and profiles, and then use some of that content to make his own unique content, top 10 business tips, right? So what I might do is I might follow this guy here as well because I want to follow his content in the future. Or if I like this individual piece of content here, I want to post this one later about emotions and marketing. I can do that right there. So that's a few clicks we've done so far. So let's make this all make sense now. That's discovering the content. And what we want to do now is analyze this content. So we've got the analyze drop down over here. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to go have a look at the searches down here. And we've just searched for marketing, affiliate marketing. Let's have a look at that right now. And this is going to pull all of the content that we just saw, and it's filtering it right now based on what I have it filtering as at the top here. From the newest content posted, because remember in that marketing tab here, if I go back, this is all just displayed randomly according to how TikTok wants to do it. There's no sense of it. It's just kind of all just chucked up there.
Okay.
Here, we can now instantly go in and segment out the winners. So let's find the most engaged piece of content out of all of this here. And you can see 2 million views on this piece of content. And this is because it's only added in 59 videos in that short time since I've hit that little icon, and that will continue to build for me here. So I know this is the most viral piece of content. I can go ahead and start this in my actual Tokmate account itself. And then as the next step here, it says saves. That's the star icon. That's where all of these little saves of content go to for me to now say, okay, it's all here now. I know I grabbed different niche content in this example, but I wanted to just give you a broad example of how it works. I can then go most engagement again. I can go most likes, most comments, whatever it is. But I already know this one up here is probably going to win as the most engagement overall. And you can see here, look at this. This is quite interesting, actually. This second video here has 121 million views, 18 million likes, and 89,000 comments. So this engagement here versus it's interesting what TikTok decides is the most engaged versus what is the most it's a weird mix between everything and what they think is most important versus what's not. But at the end of the day, is like, when you're posting content that's in the millions, it's going to be a good piece of content to post, because to me that's viral.
Yeah,
And
that's
you can
definitely
define
viral.
for yourself what viral is. Yeah. So now this is what we can do from here, and this is how we can make things super, super unique. And I actually added this video in here yesterday because this was the world's most trend viral video on TikTok yesterday. Little doggy here, and their child comes up off the bus here, runs out, sees him or her, and then life's too short.
I mean, it's great. I mean, you can see why people would like this and share it and comment. I mean, it's a nice little video. It makes sense.
Exactly. And to tie this into how does this then actually like make money for you, I'll share that with you right now. How can this help you bring eyeballs to your business? Because all forms of social media marketing, it's about selling indirectly. So more on that in a second. But now we've got here, we can go ahead and take this content and we can go ahead and post it. We can directly post it to our actual um, to our profile itself,
Okay.
or as a draft in our actual account. So um, a lot of people will use the draft option if they then want to jump into TikTok on the phone and add in extra filters and anything else that that's TikTok exclusive that they offer in their platform. Again, because we are approved by TikTok, this allows us to work and send the content where you want it to go inside of your app. And that also though means that this section here is we can send it to everyone. We can show it to people that are only mutual friends with us. It's kind of like their close friends
Mm-hmm.
version of Instagram. And then only to myself, which I might do because I want to see how it displays. And then I can turn it to everyone later on. Um, Allow stitching and duets and comments. We can talk more about that when you guys get into Tokmate and TikTok trainings, because these are really cool. And this is just another way TikTok enables your content to go viral by letting people duet the piece of content with you, like as if you're doing a real life singing duet, or
Mm-hmm.
stitching it, which means they'll add their say onto your video. And down here, this disclose content button. If you are promoting something that has a actual product or ad inside of it, that is where you would add that onto. So you'd have to turn that on, and then there's other options for that there. But just for this sake here, this is the original caption with all of their different hashtags. What I might do is I'll delete that, saying, "Who here would love to have their dog waiting?" Or as I say, "Who here has their dog waiting for them when they get home like this? Hit comment me if you think dogs are the best." And now people are going to think if I don't comment, I do not think dogs are the best. So here with this hashtag section here, I can now add in the most viral hashtags that I'd saved earlier. I can
Mm-hmm.
also add my own hashtags to this list, but this is where when I save them in the first step, I can pull them here and add these directly if I wanted to. I probably wouldn't try to like ASMR I might do here, but like hurricane, I'm not going to start posting this video into an ASMR or into a hurricane hashtag unless I'm just trying to spread some positivity to those in that space, because I'm sure it's a pretty sad hashtag to be viewing. So from here, we can instantly post, save it as a draft schedule. Instantly, will go out to your TikTok profile right away, or be scheduled to go out at any time that you set. But this is one of the cool features here that I want to touch on before I hand it back to you, Mike, is that it's our remix video section. What this does, this is going to be an upgrade after actual launch week. So what we're going to do here is we give you the ability to create what's essentially known as slime content. So you can see here, it's essentially a done for you video editor for creating what's known as slime content. So there's no uh, there's no borders here. Here we can split the video in half. So I have one video on one side, another video on the other, and then finally we've got the uh, top and below button there. So down at the bottom here, we can upload our own second video. So say I wanted a second video to be playing down the bottom or play after the first one starts, I can upload a secondary video. But you can see here for the first three pieces of content, that's available to everyone. Then the rest of them are in our template suite. But let me just go ahead and select, I don't know, a random piece of content here, this middle one here. Now, this is going to be very similar to ASMR style content.
Okay.
And this is a way, and you can do this manually by cropping videos and adding them together on iMovie and whatever, but this does it for you. And this then makes your content unique to you, and because you've added in, and that's how quickly it does it like that. So if I hit play here now, the top half's going to have the video playing, the bottom half, and it's just a little teaser like that. So I paused it there, but it'll have very highly converting or highly engaging for the eyes content playing at the bottom with that viral piece of content at the top. And again, I can do this for as many different niches or different videos down here as I want to, and I can change the size. I can have the top video be 3/4 of the screen, then the bottom one be only 1/4. We can do side by side. And there's a few other cool things that we can do inside of here as well. But
And the idea
essentially,
behind that is to make the content more original. Is that what you're?
yeah. So to
What
make
you
it more original, and also to essentially to make it even potentially more viral than it's gone in the first place, because watch time is one of the big key factors
mm-hmm.
that TikTok also looks at as well when it's looking at viral content. It wants to look at how long someone stays watching a video, and I know just from my own experience, I end up watching the bottom screen of these videos sometimes 2 or 3 times, and then I go, oh wait, I'm meant to be watching the top video. This format works really well for podcasters as well. Or Mike, if you're ever doing interviews and stuff like this,
Mm-hmm.
use like little snippets like this. You often see it for like Joe Rogan podcasts and stuff like that. They'll do this with the bottom video playing, um, and it really just keeps people's eyeballs engaged on that video. So that's one way we can change it up here while adding a new viral angle to it as well. The other way we have is our Tok editor, which is essentially our video editor that we've stripped down to be the key things that anyone would want to use. Tokmate videos, or it's essentially a video editor we created for TikTok specifically. That's super simple that anyone can use, and that's one of the upgrades that we've got going with our extra viral template pack down here of all these random but really engaging viral
So,
content
so with the
pieces.
editor, you would take the video and then you would just kind of change. It would just change it up a little bit, and make it more unique as well.
Exactly, yeah, that's
Is
exactly
there
what it
any
does. And you
problem
get
with just taking it as it is and reposting it?
no, so that's the thing as well. You can definitely do it. They don't like like it, if you're posting the exact same piece of content, it depends on. Sometimes I've seen people that they've posted content directly from, say, Disney's page or something like that,
Yeah.
um, and they might get a duplicate content like notification, and their
Hmm.
reach isn't going to be pushed as far with that. But in terms of just generic viral content, there's no problem with that. Again, you can save content to be reposted. It gives you the option as a physical button. I'll see if I can show you quickly here on my phone just by pulling it up here.
When you
Uh,
when you do the editing, is the editing done in the desktop version or is it done on the phone version?
so when so with Tokmate, so the Tokmate, it's all
Yeah.
done on the actual on the computer. So
Okay.
it's a web-based video editor. I can show you it quickly if you wanted to see it. I just didn't know how much time you. Um,
I'll leave you. I'll
wanted-
leave you for the webinar if you guys want to see more
yeah,
of him doing that because I don't want this to go too long.
no,
If you guys want to go ahead and see that, then I'll leave that suspense. You guys can sign up for the webinar there. I
yeah.
think this is really cool. I'm going to bring you back to me because we're looking at me
Oh yeah.
now.
Oh, that's me. I'll stop sharing my screen
Yeah,
again.
stop sharing your screen and let's see if I can bring it back to
And what I'll do here when you're doing that, this is I don't know if you can see this on TikTok. You can see oh, the second button in underneath the video playing. It says save video,
Okay. One
and you
second.
can do that.
Let me try to get this. If I can bring us back here. Okay, I see that now.
So that says save video, the second one. And if I hit that, it'll then save this video directly, boom, and now I can then send it anywhere, post that video
Mhm.
anywhere. It allows me to post directly to my actual Instagram with that specific video. So um, that's kind of how this software came about. I was like, oh, I can save this content, and then it's asking me to repost it. That's great, but then the problem was, how do I find the most viral content? And then how often do I post? How do I segment out the winners versus the losers? And I want my content to be. It's about creating essentially uh, faceless niche pages for the majority of people, because the majority of people, I understand, don't want to be on camera, uh, but you can still do this and be a face niche page as well. Um, but for the majority, it'll be faceless niche pages that post the most viral content of a specific niche over and over and over again of new, fresh content to become essentially an authority in that niche. And if you look at that with under the hashtags of or the searches on TikTok of marketing of any industry, there's a couple of pages that are starting to get the authority numbers. We looked at a marketing one with 500,000 followers,
Mhm.
but with how much engagement TikTok has, that's nothing. and that's why there's such opportunity here now, as because people haven't caught on to this yet. TikTok is not the main place people are spending money on ads, and they should be, because a lot of their audience is spending twice as much time here. They should be doing so much on TikTok, but they're not. And it's one of those like right place, right time moments that it'll be like like we were saying, Instagram was way back 10 years or 8 years ago when you weren't on it then, and now you're a user of it now, and you probably know the app inside out. And it'll be the same with TikTok soon as well. And then what's next, right? So it's about jumping on these opportunities when they're happening. And I'd love you guys to be a part of the webinar as well, because I'm giving away a bunch of cash, giving away some free copies of Tokmate as well, and some other little goodies along the way.
Two final questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
One is, how do you make money with this? And two, what's the sales funnel look like?
Mm-hmm. For sure. So, like any social media marketing, selling is about selling indirectly in most cases, where you're not wanting to create pages that you're just promoting buy, because people, that's not giving them value. It's not going to go viral. Unless
it's not going to go viral,
that
and I found that with like YouTube videos and like I do a lot of review videos. Review videos in general don't go viral because they are essentially like talking about selling a product, and it's a very niche type thing. So it's really hard for that type of content to go viral. So I definitely agree with that. If it's a selling content, it's much harder.
Yeah, so essentially there's a couple of ways here that we're teaching our audience. Our favorite way, and it's just the way that you would do it across any platform, but you just have such a better chance, not even a chance, it just will happen a lot easier on TikTok, is that you're trying to, by creating an actual asset, by having a page that has a lot of followers that are into that specific topic, and then having on TikTok, just like Instagram, you have your one clickable link in your bio. People are conditioned to go there to buy, and that's where they know that they can find out more information. And then having maybe 1 in 5 posts be a custom post, and it be about something that you're selling. You can push them to that bio link. You can have that link be a link tree where you have multiple links in that, the different things you might be offering. That's one way. Another key way people are doing it is through the TikTok shop. That's for e-commerce marketers and people. Then like this is a good example. The number one e-com store on TikTok last week was a lady who made candles at home that now, thanks to TikTok, is now making $4.1 million this year already.
What?
Yeah, it was like this year a month. I even think it might have been a month with candles made from home that she's now got this back order. It's just insane. Or there was one I had up when I started this. It's homemade slime. 6 million followers and sells homemade slime. So e-com is just absolutely crazy. 77%
You also get paid
of
for
people,
views too. I heard you get
yeah, exactly. So they have their creator content pay platform basically, where they'll pay you for getting X amount of views, and the more views you get, the more they pay you. The videos just have to be over a minute long, and a couple of other little things as well. So so through the creator payment program, through just traditional ways of selling through the actual content you're posting and directing people to your bio link, and again, affiliate marketing, local marketing, offline marketing, e-commerce. I know one way I've been doing it is by giving away free trials to different affiliate products, and then when those trials lapse over, they then or when they don't get cancelled, they turn into sales. I make money that way, and I'm giving away free value. I love the free value angle on social media because people are there not to be sold to. They're there to be social or to be entertained. So if you can add to that, like add to their good time and their good experience, you can do really well. And we go through all of that in our trainings as well. So and again, it's actually really cool because it can be applied across the board. Every time there's a new software or app, there are still core things about marketing that will remain the same. It's just about how to use their algorithms and the differences that these different platforms offer to best sell. And one thing I wanted to mention about the creator program
Hmm.
It's not available everywhere in the world. So that is a region specific thing it'd be great if it was. I've had friends that have moved from Australia to America purely to be a part of that, because the amount of views they were getting, they would have been paid thousands of dollars every day if they had have just lived in America, because it wasn't available here in
So it
Australia at
made
the
it worth
time.
it to move to the States just to
Yeah. Oh
join
my
that
gosh. Yeah.
program. Luke,
Yeah.
bring me through really quick here.
Hmm.
The the sales funnel here. So I know you've got
Yeah.
there's no bundle on this one. So for those of you
Not.
folks out there that are, I know there's the trend of doing a bundle, but you have it set up so that there's a front end offer, an offer on the sales page, and then I believe you have 3 upgrades.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got our front end offer where basically it's the entire tool that I shared with you then, minus the extra templates that I was adding in at the with of the random videos of our template club. There'll be a couple of template club videos there for our front end users, but you'll get that entire product that we've already shown you there. And I haven't even showed you probably half of what that tool can do, and in other areas there. I just wanted to get you the basic concepts out. So that's the front end product.
Okay.
Do you want me to run through prices throughout launch week yet?
I
Early
mean, I
bird is
know
going to
your
be when you want
prices
to
are going
get
to
it.
go up throughout the
Yeah,
launch,
yeah,
and like anything, you guys are going to open up at the lowest price, and
hmm,
at the
yeah, of
end of
course.
the launch, you're going to be going from a one time to a monthly or a yearly. Is
Yeah,
that how it's going to work? Yeah.
yeah. Definitely how it's going to work, because this is my first software launch back in 4 years, and I really wanted to. When I came back to build this out and make this, I really just wanted to get this in the hands of everyone that I could. So we made this deal. It's insanely cheap. It's the same price as a dinner out if you pick it up on day one for the front end product, and. Uh, the first upsell is going to be our Tok editor
Okay.
and our template suite, which is essentially going to be those 100 videos that you can add on to that remix tab as well, and then our full video editor that we've built specifically for Tokmate. It's all, so you don't need to worry about creating the right size videos. It's all in there. Any videos you download in Tokmate, you can add into there as well.
Okay.
It's a really great way to then create content that will loop back around. When you start using TikTok, you'll find you'll end up watching the same video 3 times, because they've perfectly edited the end of the video to be a second video that then loops into the start of the video that you. Yeah, there's
I've
so
done
many
that
cool
before.
things you can
I
do.
didn't even realize I was still watching the same video.
Yeah, yeah. So little marketing things like that we've ensured that's included in there. From there, we've got our VIP training series and I call it my black card boot camp, but it's essentially my highest value training that I'm doing at a much lower investment. So we're not just doing uh, like, we have a basic training series that comes with Tokmate. This upgrade is going to be essentially me going in, working with you specifically on how to take your business on TikTok and using Tokmate to make it go as viral as possible, and really focus on those different monetization angles. How do we build not just one but 10 accounts that can go viral all at the same time? How can we set them all up to be working for us every single day for one specific goal, or even a handful of goals? Things like going through the mistakes that I've made just in marketing in general on social media that will apply in every single niche. We go into looking at ads as well. Social media ads, oh sorry, TikTok ads are just so cheap. Like, you can get 10,000 followers for literally $100, I'd say,
Sweet.
because their audience are just so engaged. And I thought it was fake at first. It just really felt that a lot of the that the response rates and the um, engagement that this platform had was not real, but it is. And and another quick fact that I thought was funny: Gen Z, they consider TikTok to be their number one search engine of choice over Google. So
That's
if
kind of
they're
sick.
leading the way with trends go,
Yeah.
could you imagine that? Yeah, so interesting. But so yeah, so that's going to be our upsell, our second upsell. So you work with me on a much more personal level. That includes 8 weekly webinars. So for the next 2 months, essentially after launch, Every single week, we're going to go over everything you could imagine when it comes to social media marketing, and giving you services that you just wouldn't be able to find anywhere else to do things that
You're gonna
you
be doing
just
8 weeks of that with them?
we're doing 8 weeks of it. We're
Wow.
going in deep because over the years I found some of the coolest, just the coolest connections and the coolest ways to do things that you wouldn't see anywhere. For example, another free tip for everyone before you guys go: if you're on Instagram, start adding your fans or your followers of your fan page to your close friends, and then start posting stories to your close friends only, and watch how much more of an engagement and reach you get just by doing that.
On
Now, if you
Instagram or
have
TikTok?
on Instagram, I know
Instagram.
that's just an
Oh, okay.
Instagram hack. So add them to your close friends, and then post a story, and instantly you'll get rewarded tenfold uh, compared to a normal reach, where Instagram basically wants you to pay to get your content seen by anyone. And this is a way that that I found there's a bit of a loophole in there, that if you have, say you have 100,000 people that are following you,
Yeah.
there's ways we can now add all of them in at once. So things like that I teach inside of there. How to get verified on TikTok, I teach inside of there. And these are then skills that you can then sell to other businesses that want these things as well, that you probably wouldn't learn from really anyone else unless they had inside knowledge of how these things get actually done.
Um,
Uh,
no, I'm
and
glad you're gonna
yeah,
be in there with them for that 8 weeks. That's
yeah,
nice to know that
yeah, it'd
they're
be fun.
not just gonna get the software and be like, okay, go off and go
No,
viral. You're like, you're
no, no,
actually gonna
no. We're going to be
if they
there.
join in on that. I mean, it's an extra training, but
Hmm.
it's not a high price point, and I think a lot of people are gonna want to join that. So the last one you've got is the white label.
Yeah, and this is like proper white label. Like I could show it if you wanted, but it's essentially the most simple white label you will ever think of, to actually access it. A lot of the times, white label isn't actually true white label. You can't go in there, you can't set up your own subdomain, you can't do anything like that. And if you don't know what a subdomain is, don't worry. It's basically, what do you want to call the domain name where people log into,
Mm.
and all you need to do is enter. Say if it was Mike's login. Uh, all he needs to do is write Mike's login, and then we've got a generic domain there as well. So in Mike's login dot tokposter.com, and he can basically, Mike can brand the Tokmate software with his logos, with his designs, and anything with me is completely removed. But all of the resources, all of the training, all of the text training is all completely white labeled as well. So then Mike, or anyone that picks this up, can create license keys. You get 20 license keys that you can go out and sell, rent, give away, revoke, and you keep 100% of that money. And then the people that have picked those up are going to think that it's your product. You can go to 20 local businesses and say, "Hey, look, I've only got 20 of these. I'm not going to, because I've only got 20 license keys I'm
Mhm.
prepared to ever sell. I want to sell you one, and it's going to cost you $1,000 a month, $500 a month, $200 a month, whatever you want it to be. Or hey, oh, this is a great one for TikTok. Let me give you a free trial for the next 7 days of my brand new TikTok automation software. Um, Link in the bio. People will start opting in. You give them a 7 days on a pre set up trial link,
Mhm.
that they then buy your product that you've branded for which is just white labeling Tokmate. And then after the 7 days, you start getting paid, and they get their access to their software, and then you can just keep doing that
They don't know
until
that, and they don't even know that they have TalkMate. They just think that's something that I've actually.
no idea. Exactly right. So it's your product that you own, and that you've essentially built, because you've gone in there and you've gone upload logo, and now you've built it. And I promise to you that I will still continue to update it and any new features you will get as well. So, and we'll host it. There's no other expense. It's just for those that really want to make the most out of it. And last time I did that was with Advert Suite. I offered this for only 500. We did 500 copies I offered last time, because I didn't want to dilute it too much.
Mhm.
Um, and Russell Brunson from ClickFunnels, he came in and he bought 350 of those licenses in launch week,
Yeah.
which he wanted to give to his audience. I'm like, oh, I did not plan for this to happen. Like,
Yeah.
what about my affiliates customers? Like, which I get, I don't know. if they're there, they're there. If they're gone, they're gone. I get that, but it was a bit of a shock. So if you see that there, Simon and I are still deciding on what our final number is going to be that we're going to have, but we're going to make it so there's enough, but we also know that it will probably run out. There's a lot of hype around this, and so when you see it there, pick it up, because I guarantee after launch, they'll all be gone, because we want those that take action to be able to get that. We don't want everyone and their dog to be able to offer that as something. So it has to still remain exclusive to you. So that's what
I
we're
think you're going to sell a lot of it. I haven't been this excited about a launch in a long time. I think this is really cool. You've actually gotten me wanting to do more with TikTok now after
awesome.
speaking with you. So I've got a TikTok account that I'm going to potentially go out there and start creating some little niche accounts with. So I think it could be fun to really take this for a test drive and see what kind of
Mhm.
results I can get with it. But Luke, thank you so much for coming on the show today. Is there
Awesome.
anything else we missed? Anything you wanted to mention before we wrap it up?
Mate, just thanks for 10 years, mate. I cannot believe that. And for everyone here as well, I know Mike's got his audience that have been here for a long time too. Any of you that have ever been a part of anything I've done, thank you guys. And for everyone that's new, I am so excited to work with you. Hopefully, you'll enjoy the pre launch training. I'm giving away 3 of my TikTok trainings prior to Wednesday's training. So jump in through Mike's link now. It's going to be a lot of fun. Remember, come to the training with the weirdest niches or industries you can think of. And
You
this
better
is
be
one
careful.
final
You're
thing.
gonna get some
Oh
weird
yeah,
niches.
true. Yeah. But the one final thing I'll say is that on TikTok, uh, it's made for you to win, and even to the point that if you have a 10,000 follower page, if you build a page up to 10,000 followers, which is very easy to do. I know it sounds crazy, but it's not, because it's TikTok. It's different. You'll see what I mean. They will. It's so much easier to go from 10,000 followers to 100,000 followers, and the higher you get, that's when it gets harder. So TikTok actually rewards smaller pages than it does its highest following pages on I guess on a percentage basis. It wants smaller accounts to blow up from literally zero. And what place can you go to and type and post something and have it be seen by 2,500 people, roughly on average, guaranteed, in your specific niche for free? And it's not using AI to decide if it's good or not. It's using real people, and in real time, and it's just a win-win to be a part of. So I challenge you to do that before the webinar. But jump into the opt-in, watch one of my first training videos. They're only short, 15 minutes, but implement what I teach in them for the webinar, and I'm so excited for it. So, Mike, thank you so much, mate.
Again, thanks for coming on, and best of luck with your launch.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Bye.